Everybody, I'm excited to be introducing our Module 13 required film, CODA. We're talking about recent film and recent film treads this week. And CODA is one of my favorite films. In fact, it's one of the few times I've agreed with the Academy Awards. I don't always agree with their Best Picture choices, I should say. I did agree with them back in 1980 for Ordinary People, which we watched earlier in the term because that's my all-time favorite film. And I agreed my favorite film of 2021 was CODA. It was very moving and it was such a passionate coming-of-age story, so I'm excited to be sharing it with you. We talked in the module this week that a lot of films are being made for streaming services to not only keep the subscribers that are using the service, but to hopefully bring more people in. Netflix is doing this. They've done this with Maestro. They've done this year with Nona's. I use that as an example. PowerPoint, Prime makes its own films, and then of course Apple TV makes its own films, and one of them was CODA. CODA is the first film to win the Best Picture Oscar that was made for a streaming service. So it has that noteworthy distinction. So let's talk a little bit about why I'm sharing this. Again, I'm sharing it as an example of the type of streaming film we see that's really beautifully made. They're character driven, more independent type films. They're not, they're focused more on stories, the acting. So they're more reminiscent of an indie film than a major Hollywood film. And CODA really fits into this. CODA is just a wonderful movie. It's a milestone in representation. It's one of the first films to have 3 hearing impaired actors, Marlee Matlin, Daniel Durant, and Oscar winner Troy Kutzer, who won Best Supporting Actor, in the cast, along with English actress Amelia Jones, who plays the title character, not the title character, but the main protagonist, Ruby. Just a great cast. So this is a coming-of-age story. We see a lot of coming-of-age stories. One of my favorite films last year was My Old Ass, which was a coming-of-age story. Many of the 80s films that we watch, including some of the John Hughes, or coming-of-age stories, Dirty Dancing. So coming-of-age stories usually are a genre where a young person, normally they're adolescent, teenage years, maybe early college, somehow they're going to grow up, move on toward adulthood by overcoming some sort of conflict. And this is what happens in the movie. CODA looks at 17-year-old Ruby. She is living with her hearing impaired family in Gloucester, Massachusetts. They run a fishing boat, and that's how they make their money. And she has really been the ears and the voice for them. CODA, of course, stands for Children of Deaf Adults. And she's spent her life, loving her family and helping them out. But the conflict happens that she discovers she likes to sing. She has a really good voice. And she wants to move on to a music conservatory in Boston and kind of move on with her life and pursue her dreams. But the conflict is she's always also been the voice and the ears of her family, and they are very worried about having her move on, not having her being there. There's a little guilt put on to her, so she's got this conflict she has to wrestle with, and that's kind of the film's plot. Really, it's a beautiful film. There's a lot of depth and poignancy. The director, Sean Hayter, who also won an Oscar for her wonderful screenplay, really examines what this character has to go through, how she has to understand what she should do to move on with her life. Visually and through use of sound, Hedder really does a lot of things for us in the audience. Many scenes are silent. We hear things or see things from the perspective of the hearing impaired actors, and it gives it a dynamic. Coming-of-age stories can sometimes be a little bit cliched, but there's really a fresh perspective in this film, looking at a character that's got a conflict, but using a lot of interesting devices, especially with sound, to tell this story about a young woman who wants to move on to a prestigious music school to sing and to become a musician, and also keep her family happy, also juggle both of these things successfully. And I think by the time we get to the film's really moving conclusion. We feel we've taken this ride with these people. I really love this film. I look forward to your reactions and your discussions. You guys have been sharing some really great discussions this semester, and I look forward to your reaction to watching CODA.